Thank you for joining me for this session on leading and organizing in action, structuring teams. I'm Kim McCoy, Senior Program Manager with Stratus Health. The purpose of this session is to help us understand why leadership teams and interdependent structures matter, to learn how to establish essential conditions to enable teams to function effectively, and to learn how to develop an interdependent structure across a coalition. In the last session, we added power to the equation. How do we engage the right people that can generate the power we need for change? In this session, we'll focus on how leveraging the right leaders can maximize the power in your coalition. Creating a cross-institutional leadership team is intended to address several of the challenges facing multi-stakeholder coalitions. First, since there is no single organizational or institutional structure that includes all stakeholders, alignment and buy-in for change starts with a collaborative leadership team at the center. A leadership team holds a coalition's vision and acts on its behalf. Second, the key decisions that affect a coalition's work are influenced by many separate groups and institutions that must work interdependently. Coalitions are not built on command and control authority structures and are ineffective if there is no structure for coordination and direction. Leadership teams enable those most affected by a coalition's aims to participate in its leadership. Third, a leadership team increases shared commitment and enables the evolution of structures and rules over time. They develop new language, norms of conduct, and hybrid cultures that operate across the organizations and sectors of the community involved in the coalition. A leadership team offers a structural model that fosters distributed leadership with each team member equally owning the team's purpose and activity. At their best, leadership teams enable the productive use of the unique talents of the individuals who make up the team and provide team members mutual support and assistance. Team structures also build strategic capacity, the ability to creatively strategize in ways that produce more exciting and engaging strategies than any individual could create alone. In building a snowflake leadership structure, multiple layers of leadership teams can engage people innovatively and strategically at all levels. This structure creates many entry points for volunteers to join a coalition, forming more and more teams, all able to learn and exercise leadership together. The second condition for an effective team is a compelling shared purpose. Articulating a compelling shared purpose addresses challenges that arise if coalition leaders come with different amounts of power and resources. A shared purpose suggests that all partners are created equal by defining the activity space of the group, not of any one individual. A team must craft a compelling shared purpose that is clear, challenging, and consequential. A clear purpose articulates what the outcomes will look like if achieved. A clear purpose includes what the team will do, who will be doing it, and how it will be done. A challenging purpose is something that is both inspiring and thought-provoking. It requires people's best efforts and is possible if everyone contributes. A consequential purpose has a real impact on the lives of others. Everyone knows why it matters and why it must be addressed right now. Developing a compelling shared purpose also addresses a second challenge. Coalition leaders have fragile authority to influence coalition members because participation is voluntary. Keeping people engaged and reducing turnover can be a struggle if people are balancing volunteer commitments against full-time employment and other competing priorities. This is especially true when participation is not financially compensated. A compelling shared purpose demonstrates collective buy-in and ownership and helps commit coalition leaders to follow it publicly. The third condition of an effective team is enabling structures. Enabling structures allow members of multi-stakeholder teams to move forward in a shared direction and develop trust in the processes of the team. Two enabling structures should be established at the launch of a team: interdependent roles and teamwork, and norms of conduct. For interdependent roles and teamwork, Everyone should have a roughly equal share of the work based on the unique skills and resources he or she brings to the team, understanding that each part is necessary to achieve the team's shared purpose. In interdependent teams, the success or failure of one affects all. Clarifying roles is about managing this interdependency. The whole team is coordinated and aimed in the same direction. Roles enable the effective functioning of meetings, such as a note-taker role, and the functioning of the team, such as liaison to hospital staff or project coordinator. Understanding team members' skills, experiences, and resources allows team members to take on roles for which they are especially well suited. Other examples of roles include logistics coordinator, facilitator, timekeeper, note-taker, and team roles like project coordinator, data coordinator, and communications. Spending energy on shared teamwork every time the team meets is also important because it leads to the teams working increasingly well together over time by learning each other's strengths and keeping each other energized. The team should solve problems, make decisions, coordinate work, share information, and create structures and opportunities that enable others to join in action. Effective teams coordinate and help each other accomplish collective goals. Team members should communicate when they need assistance. No one should carry out activity in a silo. Lastly, in especially effective coalition leadership teams, members consult to one another about the challenges they face in their own institutions. Finally, every team needs ground rules about how to operate. Because coalition leaders come from different institutions with different pre-existing norms of conduct, it is especially important to generate new norms to reset the dynamic among members. Teams with explicit operating norms have a much higher likelihood of achieving the results they seek. Norms can and should be refined through regular group review of how well the team is doing and whether its norms are serving it well. In order to have meaningful ground rules that guide behavior, teams also need to have a way to enforce those rules through an agreement about what is going to happen if someone does not live up to the rules. This is an accountability measure, not a punishment. Although it may sound counterintuitive, establishing a fun or silly consequence practice energizes the effort because accountability is one of the norms which allows the coalition to function more effectively.